The Herd, wherever you may be and wherever and however you may be listening. Live in Los Angeles, The Herd sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer. Jenny Taft is joining us on a Monday in which I think it could be my favorite show in months today. It's great to have you in today.
Your favorite. All right, let's do it.
Oh, we've got a lot of things today. Obviously, the NBA playoffs. This is NFL Draft Week, which I have loved forever since I was a kid. But let me start with this. Everybody wants to be the man. And I've been watching the NBA for 40 years. And everybody that loses has to blame the refs. This game is rigged, man. They got to blame the refs. They got to blame the commissioner. They blame big markets, just like society. If you're not as successful as you think, it's the government, it's the man, it's your boss, it's your wife. God blame somebody. Can't look in a mirror. So I'm looking at Indiana yesterday, and good Lord, a big game. They made more field goals. Three-point percentage was better than the Cavs. More rebounds, more assists, points off turnovers, points in the paint. Game was right there for Indiana to win. In fact, they were at home, led the series 2-1. It's 93-91, 4:20 to go. This is the season. This is the moment. Indiana, Victor Oladipo, Lance Stevenson, you're crazy. This is the moment. And these are the two shots they get. Victor Oladipo vomits on the floor, 5 for 20, and Darren Collison, not a top 100 player in the NBA. That's what they did. The Cavs are LeBron and a bunch of guys. It's the worst roster he's had in a decade. George Hill's not playing. Kevin Love is, but barely. He's hurt. They've started 33 different starting fives. Ty Lue is making it up as he goes. If you want to be the man, you're going to get very few opportunities in life to grab the baton. It is rarely offered, and it was offered to the Pacers yesterday. You're at home. You have the ball. You lead the game. LeBron played all 82 games. He's carrying a bag of nothing. And Victor Oladipo can't do anything. 5 for 20. Darren Collison shouldn't be near the basketball. Sabonis isn't even on the floor. And Nate McMillan forgot what coaching means. Call a timeout. Set up a play. Go up by 5. And then you've got them up against the ropes and reeling. Folks, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's sports, there is an it quality. The great ones have an it quality. It's innate. It's intuitive. The Pacers don't. They not only blew the moment, they blew the game, and they probably, with LeBron more on the ropes than he's been in the East in 8-10 years, you blew the series. Let me juxtapose it to a guy I now absolutely love, Ben Simmons. They lead by a point. They've got a rookie, not Darren Collison, not Victor Oladipo, not guys who have been in the league forever. Ben Simmons on the road, leading the series, late in the game. Pat Riley looking. Eric Spoelstra there, Dwayne Wade, and Ben Simmons takes the ball after 2 bad Philly possessions and goes, okay, I got this. Simmons drives, Simmons slams, and there's your series. He's got it. Nobody would have blamed it if the 21-year-old kid in his first big road playoff series butchered it. Got nervous. This kid's been in the league an hour. Pat Riley's watching on the road, everybody booing. And Simmons says, nah, get out of the way. It's mine. That's what Magic Johnson did when he broke into this league. That's why the Sixers over the next decade, if they can get past Boston, they're going to win a bunch of NBA titles. It's why I'm so high on Ben Simmons. It's not as good as LeBron today, but he's the future of the league. Toronto, the baby dinosaurs are frauds. Giannis, I don't trust Milwaukee. John Wall won yesterday. Yippee. Boston, good in a year, 2 beat up. Pacers had LeBron on the ropes and vomit. Just juxtapose those two. Pacers blew the game, the moment, and probably the series. Ben Simmons seized the moment, the game, and probably the series. The baton is rarely offered. You better be ready when it is. Let me shift gears to this. I don't believe I'm overstating it when I say I'm about to say. The coddled and enabled Westbrook. Russell, you know him? Biggest game of his career tonight. Really is. Even when he lost in the finals, he was still forming his legacy. He is now down to Utah 2-1. Last year, this league gave him the MVP because he didn't have much to play with. Kevin Durant left. That was the excuse, and we gave him a big piece of hardware. Last year, he lost in round 1. Well, there were excuses, right? Houston was the better team. I agree. KD had left. I agree. Not a lot of help for him. Well, now Oklahoma City has better players. Oklahoma City had home court. Oklahoma City has more veterans. And they now trail 2-1. By the way, Saturday night, Westbrook was as bad as he has ever been. 5 for 17, a minus plus 25 on the floor, outplayed by Ricky Rubio. Russell Westbrook was in his finest fourth quarter playoff form. But it's what he said afterwards that has always been my criticism of Russell Westbrook. He has no self-awareness. I used to make fun of Rex Ryan. Remember when I used to make fun of Rex Ryan? I'm like, dude, you've been coaching. Your dad was an NFL coach. Your brother's a coach. You've been in the league 30 years. You're making guarantees. What are you doing? That's what a rookie head coach does. That's what an assistant does. He makes guarantees. Rex Ryan, you've been in the league 30 years. All a guarantee does is fire up the other guys and puts pressure on you. Here's what Westbrook said after a loss at Utah.
What allowed him to get so hot there?
He made some shots, too comfortable. But I'm going to shut that off next game, though. Guarantee that.
I guarantee that. So now he's fired up Utah, and put enormous pressure on himself. But here's what's interesting. As I showed you a minute ago what Ben Simmons, the rookie who has it, did in crisis, what did the rookie point guard for Utah after that comment? The rookie. Westbrook's been in the league 10 years, still making guarantees, which again puts pressure on himself and his teammates and fires up the team you're playing. Here was the Twitter response by rookie Donovan Mitchell. Zip. I'm not saying a word. Once again, Westbrook has been in this league 10 years and making guarantees. And the kid is like, nah, I'm just going to keep quiet. I'm going to let my play speak for itself. A couple of days ago, I said something on the air and people freaked out. I can't believe it. What are you saying, Colin? When I said, LeBron's still amazing, but the league is no longer beholden to LeBron James. He's not on the best team. In fact, his roster now is garbage. I said there are so many great young players. We've got a dynasty in Golden State, a very good challenger to the dynasty in Houston, 25 great players under 25 years old, namely Ben Simmons. Donovan Mitchell was part of that. Tonight, all those of you who have enabled and coddled Russell Westbrook, isn't it ironic that you gave him the MVP last year because he lost KD? The same reason you won't give LeBron the MVP this year. Well, I mean, they're not a championship team. I mean, Kyrie left. Who could play with LeBron? He's so difficult. Never a peep about Westbrook, who now trails a team that lost Gordon Hayward, led by a rookie that looks like, if Utah wins tonight, Russell Westbrook and all those built-in excuses last year will all have officially dried up. Guarantees are ridiculous. All they do is fire up your opponent and put enormous pressure on yourself. Good luck, Russell. Coming up next, you don't have to be the greatest at anything to be the greatest. And I'll explain what I mean in terms of what I've seen from Ben Simmons over the last 4 days. That's coming up. For years and years, I wore Tommy John underwear. And I always loved Tommy John. I'd bring them home, and my wife would say, why don't they make women's underwear? So she started using the underwear and going to bed and sleeping in it. And I asked the guy who runs Tommy John, I'm like, why don't you do women's underwear? And he goes, you know what? The guys' underwear is selling. Right now we're concentrating on that. That's the space we're in. Well, Tommy John's has come out now, and all the advantages of men's underwear, women, now you can go to TommyJohn.com, put in the code HERD, H-E-R-D, and they've got women's panties, and they've got all the things that the guys have had over the last several years. I wasn't even an underwear guy, started wearing Tommy John, and now I am in for good. TommyJohn.com, code HERD, not the cheapest, easily the best, for 20% off. TommyJohn.com.
Some things should never change, like the crisp